Hello, you beautiful people. It's me, MetaVerse Explorer. You know what you're here for. I know what you're here for. So let's get straight into it. Let's talk about Star Atlas in the last week or two and see what the hell we missed. Now, there has been some updates recently. It's supposed to have come now, but it's a little bit late. They are unfortunately delayed, but it's still coming. So I thought it's worthwhile we'll chat about it. But that's the main topic for today. Let's get started today, my friends. Did you know the PSX has actually been finished? It's gone through its final remodeling and it looks gorgeous. Look at it. Look at it. So I really loved the PSX-5 when I first saw it, because it seemed like one of those ships where, like, you know, all of them could merge together to make a giant shield. It's got all these arms, these four arms that could turn into a shield, that could turn into attack mode, and then like cruising or racing mode. So that's what I really loved about the PSX-5, and thankfully it's been finished now. So maybe I should actually go into the UE5 showroom and go and have a look at it, right? Look at it. It looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Nearly done here, and we'll head off. Nice. New presentation patch, May 14. And that's the patch we're talking about here. It's not quite ready yet, but it will come. Look at this. Amazing. Good animation. Like, it has a slight hover when it comes up, as well as the splitting of the arms. Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's move on. Did you know the Ventara have officially been selected? So the Ventara are a select group of people that are going to be playtesting all of the new UE5 features that are coming out. It's a long-term kind of gig. I didn't put my name down at all because, one, I don't have the time, and that was one of the requirements. They said you do have to make sure you have time for this, and that's kind of granted, you know. So for me, I was like, I don't have the time. I'll let the experts go to it. So the Ventara, they're normal people, of course they're normal people, they're normal people inside the Star Atlas community. So they'll be helping us with the testing and everything. So I'm very happy with that. And hopefully they give us some little tidbits, some little extra goodies here and there. Now, the next thing I wanted to chat to you about is the fleet rental scoring system that the team have actually released from April. So this is on the fleet rental page. When you go and rent a fleet, there are different scores. And then it kind of tells you the average kind of Atlas that you should be paying for your rentals. So in here, they've actually given you the specific, equations, so that you can actually define what scores to attributes to some of these, these ships. So the goal is to enable quick comparisons of fleet power and efficiency in the rental market. Details scoring is below. So of course they have factors, fleet power, mining score, scan score, cargo score, etc. And all the way at the end, they actually have all of these defined. So you can see what the weighting of these are. Scanning, cargo, look at this. An extra small is an alpha and a beta score like this. So yeah, it's pretty cool, right? But let's go ahead and read. I don't need this so much, and most people don't need this so much, but let's just read the conclusion. All the numbers and equations listed in the document subject to change, of course, right? Furthermore, all the scores resulting from this methodology are objective, feature-based scores. Objective only, okay? So if you like the look of the PSX-5, then hey, nothing else matters, right? You love the look of the ship, right? It's possible that due to some sort of geographical or technical reason in the game or on the Solana blockchain, that one fleet may be more efficient than another in a way that is not described by this algorithm. That's so true, right? I don't know, I can't give you a specific example, but I can really imagine that. Let's say, if you have a mining score of 500 and then a mining score of 500, but one of them has priority fees enabled and one of them has is happy to pay tips on the Solana blockchain, obviously the one with the 500 with Solana blockchain tips and priority fees is going to perform possibly a little bit better. And all it takes is transactions to go through quicker, or hell, a transaction to go through, because then this other ship, this other 500 without these bonuses is not going to do as well. They just won't be mining as much, right? You get what I mean. As a result, this algorithm should never be used as a means to calculate financial return. Ooh, thank you very much for saying that. Indeed, this document is description of mathematical process by which we provide value to users in the Star Atlas universe. The information herein is not investment advice, it's for entertainment purposes only. So very good. Now let's move on. Michael Wagner has been giving us some little leaks because there's a big patch coming, so there's some leaks that he wanted to give us. Let's have a look. So, new unrevealed image for every 20 likes. And so far, how many likes? He's got 358. So how many is he going to give us, huh? So we see the first thing here. It seems to be a thimble ship. Now, it looks like It kind of looks like a jet, but of course that's an opal jet, not a thimble jet. So this seems like a really small size, like maybe an extra small, or maybe possibly a small ship, a thimble small ship. I want to know what's actually still missing so far in the ships. But anyway, that's on the ship side. And then this is the central space station. So I wonder which central space station. It looks like the only central space station, because you can see these circles and these housing are definitely Oni. Definitely Oni. So I remember they were working on this a long time ago, and it does look much better now. So I'm very glad with that. Now, next thing is a chair. We saw this ages ago. This is the calico chair that kind of like morphs in and morphs down. Do you guys remember this? We saw this ages ago. Next thing, I hope this is not a new species, but is rather our Tigu, right? This is our Tigu, hopefully. And they're modeling it here, very, very modeled. I wonder what's the point of modeling like this if you're going to have fur on top of it. I'm not sure. But anyway, I remember we did see some Tigu animations a long time ago as well. Man, you think about it, we've seen a lot of stuff, but stuff that we haven't actually come to fruition yet. Let's go to the next one. And the next one is, this seems to be some kind of concept art for characters and different armor levels, perhaps, like armor level 1, armor level 2, armor level 3. And this one has like a whole bunch of stuff on it. So maybe it's like a level 5 or something leveled up. Anyway, the best thing I want to show you, we've seen this one already, but this is the one that I like. This is top secret. Don't tell Danny, okay? Don't tell Danny. Now, what are we looking at? This is gorgeous, okay? So, you know, the team have always said they're going to be improving the amount of resources and possibly amount of bases in the Star Atlas Galea, in the Star Atlas map. And they said they're going to actually be expanding the map, okay? So if you expand the map, you're going to have more stuff in the map, right? Because there's different places to go now. So now what we're seeing here, what I think we're seeing is an example of that expansion of that map. Now look here on the left, faction areas, we have Mud, Oni, Uster. So we're not getting any new factions, that's fine. But look at the amount of systems that we have on them now. 115 each, 4 systems, 134 planets, 900, nearly 1,000 planets each. Look at that. And then stars, 400 each. Resources, 16,000 resources each. Not like there's 16 minerals at this spot. It's like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times all these planets, times all these stars. There's 16,000 of them, okay? And then look, they've divided it into the territory. So to 2.1k square meters, or square kilometers or square light years, I'm not sure. But yeah, they're trying to give it the same amount. Same amount of resources, same amount of space, planets, stars, for each of the factions. And then they even they even give you a number, 3.1, 3.3, 3.2. So of course, when Mud and Oni are fighting and Ust is like losing space, for example, then you're going to see the territory go down significantly. Now, on this, you can't actually see where a lot of the stuff is, but you can see some of the coloring, right? Some coloring maybe have to do with the the races itself. Uster is yellow, right? So Uster has a small yellow bit here. That's fine. But this is the one that I really wanted to chat to you about. So this was leaked by someone, I forget when, okay? I don't remember where exactly it was, but I had to talk to you about it. Now, if you see here, if you can identify, so in this triangle, this is the Galea that we know so far. Mud is all the way down here. You can tell Mud is down here because it's got all the Mud, names here. Mud 006, Mud, it's all Mud. Up here is Oni. And then on the right is Uster. So this is the Galea, okay? This is the normal Galea map. But look at all the different stuff on there, okay? You have, let's just zoom in very, very slightly, okay? Let's zoom in very slightly. Look at this. Palladium, rhodium, mica, palladium, rhodium, glowstone, cinnabar, topaz, tellurium, spinner something, ruby, peridot, hycenium. What? See, all these are new resources that are coming. And then look at how many there are on the damn map. Look at how many there are on the damn map. There is a lot of them. The next thing that I was wondering about is, you see these? Why do they have crowns? Why do they have crowns? What does a crown signify? That it's a more significant resource? Or perhaps, because I don't see crowns anywhere here, or maybe because it's too damn busy to actually see crowns, right? And then my next concern is, how come like the map kind of stops at the top where Uster and Oni are, but Mud have a whole bunch down here? So I think maybe it's just the interface, and that like it tried to load everything at once, and so all of the words and text are just pushed on top of each other, and so it just looks like it's down here, but hopefully it's actually all in here. So maybe that's what we're looking at here. You see all of these little things, like all these little dots, these are all these different resources that you can mine. Look at that, right? Look at that. So yeah, you strontium, sextium, ooh, glowstone, ruby. You can make out some of these, right? And I'm just gonna scroll down, so maybe you can make out some of these words. Fluoride, nitrogen, we know already. Sulfur, we don't have. Tenno something. Xenium, we don't know. Cobalt, diamond, we know. Garnet crystal, hycenium. So yeah, you see there's more resources coming, okay? And I know it's like an order of magnitude more than what we currently have, right? So anyway, we'll move on. Now, next thing, did you know the Metaverse Nomads are actually back? Is it a revival? I just saw this video 2 hours. I haven't actually watched it, but they are talking about Star Atlas, so it'd be interesting to see what's happening with them now if they're deciding to come back. And they got 200 views, so, and they streamed it 7 hours ago. So Metaverse Nomads, everyone loved you. You guys got to come back. We love it. Now, next up, let's talk about the big patch notes that's actually coming May 4th. Yay. Now, the first thing is a completed in-game PSX5 model. We've already just seen this right now. Brand new shotgun, happy, sounds good. I wanna play with it, of course. Very small stakes though. Co-op dogfighting, that's larger stakes than the shotgun. It's always nice to have your friends. You can go and play. You can go and log into the same server, create memories, record that sort of stuff. So when it's co-op, it's always much nicer, much nicer. Dedicated servers for shooter game modes. Of course, you do need dedicated servers when you have co-op. Major updates to Paizel's Arena shooter map. I assume it's all got to do with the same. It's all the same thing. It's the shooting game modes, Paizel's Arena, and then the new shotgun. And then the last thing is shiploads more. Is that a pun? Is that going to be the new ship that we're going to be seeing? Maybe. Full patch notes and a video rundown will drop on May 14th. And we're only about 3 days away from that now. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll make another video when that time comes. Now, lastly, I'm going to give you some Sage updates as well that the team are planning. Now, this is also a bit delayed, but let's have a look. We've got some important updates coming for Sage Labs. I want to make sure you have the details ahead of time so you can prep. Now, the big ones are actually to do with food. People are really worried about how this is going to affect the food economy. I know I am a little bit because sometimes I do go and mine food and sell food. So of course, if the demand for food goes down, then my mining is unprofitable now, okay? So here's the update. Food consumption for all actions will now scale with ship performance. Wow, ship performance, not about crew. We're rebalancing food consumption from being proportional to crew to being proportional to VWAP value. So that's going to be a very, very big difference. So the higher the amount of value your ships are, or your ship is, or your fleets are, that's going to say how much food you're going to be using. So a Titan ship is going to be using way, way more food than, for example, the same equivalent of crew on a different fleet. I hope that makes sense. So it's about how much value you actually have. That's how much crew you're going to be, how much food you're going to be using. And I think that really won't affect extra small or small ships, or even small or extra small or small ships, because they kind of have the same base crew and the VWAP is the lowest. What's going to be more effective is the people with the higher VWAP. That's what I'm thinking about. Let's read. Data runner ships will now receive a 50% reduction in scan cooldown. Very interesting. But is that actually going to make a difference? Because it's not about the scan cooldown itself. It's about the richness of the tile that you're actually sitting on, right? You can scan multiple times, but there's only going to be a set percentage that the tile is going to give you to get some SDUs. So it doesn't matter about your cooldown time. If anything, it means you can just subwarp to somewhere else on another tile and keep scanning and try and fill your scanning quota, Rebalancing Atlas crafting fees to be more in line with recent volatility. Awesome. The weekly FIC rotation and refill will now be moved to every 2 weeks instead of every week. Yeah, probably very organizational intensive to have this change every week. We're watching Atlas emissions closely and we're currently higher than we'd like, which means there's more Atlas going into circulation than they actually want. So they want to move away from that, reduce the Atlas. Because remember, the less Atlas there is coming into circulation, the less sell pressure there is. Because a number of people do sell their Atlas to USDC or Solana, for example. Okay, some people compound, of course, but some people will say, no, thank you, I need to take my money out now. Moving to a bi-weekly schedule will help bring emissions back in line. Some sectors within a faction are completely depleted. Yeah, that's right. They want to say you have to finish the fix in here before more is given, so which means people will have to move all their stuff from A to B so that they can finish all the fix and then they will get more into the market. Now the next thing, update coming in 2 weeks. Generation 2 faction infrastructure contracts will redeem for 2 Atlas as opposed for the 2.2 Atlas. So that's a big difference there. It's like a 10% difference, 10% withdrawal of funds. or reduction actually. Gen 2 fixes have been a bit too rewarding, so we're dialing them back slightly. Ooh, too rewarding, have they? Maybe that's got to do with the Atlas emissions, they're watching it very closely. They're saying this is too much. And then when ready, food upkeep will no longer be required in Starbases. This is a big deal. This is a very, very big deal because they're saying here, maintaining Starbase food upkeep has mostly fallen on a few large players, so removing their requirement to make things smoother for everyone. Why was it introduced in the first place? Was it because they needed a utility for food? So right now, you tell me what the utility is going to be for food. If, one, the food is going to be done proportional to ships, which is hopefully going to, I think that's what they're thinking, is going to increase the demand for food. And now you're completely eliminating the demand for food when it comes to Starbases. So food is going up and then down. So I hope they've done the calculation to see what's going to happen. All right. I think what else is going to happen is a lot of people will just start crafting a lot now because food upkeep at Starbase is what's allowing you to craft at high speed or at regular speed. And if you don't have this food there, then you're going to have a lower crafting speed. So that's going to obviously affect your ROI, because if you can craft something in 1 hour instead of the 2 hours it took you before, then yeah, that's a really great thing. So of course the market is going to turn over quicker, crafting is going to be much quicker, and yeah, that's going to affect your bottom line, of course, and affect the economy generally. So it's very interesting that what they're doing here. It's going to, food upkeep will no longer be required on Starbases. I don't know, man. The reason to remove it has just been because it's fallen on a few large players, so we're removing it to make it smoother. So, they're large players. Like that's the game. That's a requirement of the game. Is it because these large players complained to you guys and then you said, oh no, let's change it? If so, I don't like that. There has to be a proper rationale behind it, not like these large players are doing it. So what? They're large players. That's what they do. If they want to, craft really quickly, then yeah, they have to supply the food. I'm not a large player and I have to craft my food at half speed, right? I have to craft my stuff at half speed because I know I can't afford it. But hey, that's the game, that's the game. Anyway, let's move on. So just letting you know, of course, they ran into an issue, longer to fix, so we'll need to push it to next week. This is the update that's coming soon. So my friends, let me tell you what's happening with myself. I am currently doing nothing at all. My ships are currently mining Rochinol in MRZ36. I have quite a bit of Rochinol that I try and at least get into the main CSS. I have 67 million Rochinol, and I'm also trying to craft some hydrogen when I can. So let me just import this here. I do buy some hydrogen from the market because it is quite cheap. But the ROI on this is very low. It's about 30-something% when you do it annually, of course. So it's very, very low margin. So if the price moves even a little bit, I'm stuffed. So I have to be very careful with my buy orders and my sell orders. Now, on top of this, what I actually do need to do, my friends, you tell me, I need help. I have 174 million titanium ore just sitting in MRZ31, right? Do I just rent some freighting ships and freight it all across, craft it as titanium bars, and then sell that on the market? Because this money sitting here, it's not doing anything at all. I can actually sell this right now, compound that money into something else, and keep it moving. Because right now, this sitting here is not being productive at all. What's the point of it? It's nothing. So I feel like I really, really have to do something about it. So you tell me what I think I should do. Do you think I should rent and then freight it all across, which is, we'll try and save some money here and there? Or should I freight it across, sell it right away, or do I craft it into titanium? I think the better bet is actually to craft it into titanium. Because if we see here, look at this. If you do titanium, if crafting, it's actually a negative ROI. Right? If you buy it straight out. Of course, I'm not buying it straight out, but I do have it I did mine it myself. So maybe there is a bit of a profit there. Got to figure out what my actual value is. But let's actually have a look at the crafting, because as you guys know, I don't do much in the scanning realm. There's people that do scan out there. I don't do that at all. There are people in the mining realm. I do mine, but not so much. Let's see what the mining is for 1,000 budget, or maybe 5,000 budget. Let's see. What is it? Hydrogen, Arco, biomass, Arco, hydrogen, Arco. Ooh, look at that. It seems like the crystals as well as hydrogen is really good, and biomass, of course. But what's the ROI on this? Very low. Look at this, 21%. Now, not even worth it. Now, you need to be minimum 30%. And that's why when I do my fuel, you can sometimes see here, that's right, thank you very much, an ROI of 32% just for fuel, right? You have to make sure you're doing this well. And I feel like I can get this done well because the exit liquidity is so high, because I can actually sell what I need to instead of just waiting and having that money just not doing anything. So yeah, that's my plan so far, my friends. Tell me what you think I should be doing. I want to rent out these 2 ships, but no one's renting them out. I'm thinking I need to disband them, take it to Mud or Uster, and then reform them so someone can rent it there for different amounts. Yeah, so that's it, my friends. I'm going to leave you and love you. It's been 20 minutes. I'm going to get to work now. Hope you like my hair. Long time. Okay, bye.